How's everyone doing today? It's your boy JJ Domination, and you're probably wondering, why is there wrestling? You know, I'm a Madden guy. I just did a first 2K video in a long time. Why is there wrestling? Well, I've always kind of wanted to dive into wrestling. I consider myself a pretty decent, you know, knowledgeable fan these days, and you know, it's just something I've always wanted to talk about on my channel eventually. And with Wrestlemania 2 weeks away, by the way, I'm not playing this match, I'm letting the computer play it. This is an actual match that's going to happen at Wrestlemania. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Good build to it, there's a good story behind it. You know, Randy Orton, of course, the WWE product, and AJ Styles, a hard worker of the independent scene, kind of worked his way to this point, whereas Randy Orton was kind of born for it. That's the story they're pitching to the audience and to the people at home. So if you, I can go ahead and guarantee the people that are watching this video either casually watch WWE, like they watch WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, you know, maybe a Raw or SmackDown here and there, or they used to watch WWE, but it's not the Attitude Era, so I don't watch it. Let me just say, WWE is in a good state. It's in an awkward state, but it's in a good one. The talent pool is definitely deep. It's probably the deepest it's ever been, to be honest. But we're going to talk about WrestleMania, as you can see by the title of the video and the arena. We're going to be talking about what the format of WrestleMania should be. And, yeah, WrestleMania, for those that, you know, don't read the dirt sheets or don't follow rumor reports and stuff, it's rumored to be the longest WrestleMania ever. Last year there were 14 matches, and let me go ahead and tell you, I made it through like 13 of those matches. I fell asleep in the middle of Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at last year's WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. This WrestleMania is rumored to be 17 matches long, including this match right here between AJ Styles and Randy Orton. I heard on Steven Larson's Going in Raw podcast, by the way, if you ever want to just hear some folks talk about wrestling or get a recap of Raw and SmackDown because you don't watch the show and they do for you, definitely go check them out. They have like almost 200k subscribers, if they're not already at 200k subscribers. But they're very good at breaking down wrestling. They know what they're talking about. Very knowledgeable fans. And very knowledgeable about the business. But of course, let's go ahead and talk WWE WrestleMania. So I believe one of the Patreons that submitted questions on their channel was suggesting a like a 2-day event for WrestleMania. And if you're gonna have 17 matches on the card, you might as well like have a 2-part WrestleMania. Like part 1 could be like your championships, and then like part 2 or vice versa could be like your personal matches where there's no belts, or like big moments and like backstage segments. It can be the, by the way, WrestleMania, 17 matches plus backstage segments, plus Miss Alexa Bliss being the host. She is a female competitor, for those that don't know. But yeah, WrestleMania is going to be a very long show if you include the pre-show, you know, where they have the Battle Royal matches, and then they have the Cruiserweight Championship match most likely, because they don't really care about the Cruiserweight Championship. It's been on like every pre-show ever, you know, since like, I don't know, January of 2018. And, you know, I feel like for WrestleMania, I like that setup, you know. Now, of course, it would conflict. There would be conflict with NXT TakeOver. NXT, of course, is the third brand of WWE. It's looked at as a developmental brand. You know, new talent. You know, if they're not called up immediately, they go through NXT. NXT, by the way, is a very high-quality wrestling show. You have to be like a true wrestling fan to watch NXT. It's very high quality. They take their time with every story that's told within the ring. And they just do a great job of producing top-notch shows every year. I've been watching TakeOver for almost 4 years now. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you there has not been one underwhelming NXT TakeOver show, and I've been watching for almost 4 years. I can guarantee within the last 4 years, you will find at least 10 underwhelming pay-per-views. just regular pay-per-views for Raw and SmackDown, or both Raw and SmackDown, and that will include a WrestleMania or two. Now, I like the idea of splitting up WrestleMania. On one of the shows, you could have your personal rivalries, your big matches that don't have any titles at stake. You can have your backstage segments, your interviews, and hell, you can treat the second day like Championship Sunday. Like, all titles will be defended on Sunday at WrestleMania. You could have like champions show up to WrestleMania and have backstage interviews and skits. You can make both shows like the same length. But going back to NXT TakeOver briefly, that's the show that typically airs on a Saturday. So it would conflict with WrestleMania, you know, the first part being on a Saturday. So I would move that to Friday night. But you're like, wait a minute, the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame is on a Friday night. Well, you could do a network special on, you know, probably in the afternoon on Friday or Thursday night, because there's no Thursday night football going on. So you could probably tune into the network on Thursday night, or have a on-air special on like the USA Network. And you know, that could be a thing too. So there's definitely ways to work around all of this. In my opinion, I like the format of having two WrestleManias, one with like personal matches and segments, and the other one with just straight up championship matches. So that way none of the championship matches feel devalued because they're forced on the pre-show. You know, you get all your championship matches, you can have your cake and eat it too type of thing. And that way you don't have to watch one very long show. You can watch two you know, above average length shows, but it doesn't feel like you're there for an eternity, basically. And I think that could be a very interesting idea. Let me know how you guys feel about that down below. And if you don't watch wrestling, you know, like, just let me know, man. How do you feel? How do you feel about the WWE? You know, for those that don't watch wrestling, where's your stance on it? And if you do watch WWE, but you can't watch it like hardcore, and you want me to like do breakdowns of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and even 205 Live, the Cruiserweight show, let me know down below. I will definitely give you guys a breakdown of all the shows, like on a Thursday or a Friday or something. It's still going to be, you know, my Madden franchise series. It's still going to be J&A podcast. It's still going to be my solo episodes for Madden and NBA occasionally. But, you know, if you want WWE to be a regular thing, let me know. You know, I don't know how good the video is going to do, but hopefully it does okay, man. You know, it's just something new. I'm trying to venture out, tap into a new audience of people who want to become WWE fans, or people who are hardcore WWE fans. So let me know how you guys feel below about the prospect of there being a two-part WrestleMania weekend series. And let me know how you feel about the WWE in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and peace, bro. There ain't nothing else to say.